Hey, how's it going? I know, only one voice here. I'll fill you in on all the deets in a minute. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of CO in Rome. This is Rome, and this is episode number 78. 78. Yeah, that's normally what CO would say, but CO is not with us this week. Let me tell you guys something. Today has been quite the unusual day. In addition to us being super busy with pre-existing plans today, I had to take my dog to the vet for urgent care. Unexpectedly, that threw our schedule off a little bit. And then CO's not feeling well today. I think she may have been bitten by something. It's really affecting her, and she needed to go get some help with that. So we basically made a judgment call to go ahead and make sure that we don't deliver you guys a late episode, and for me to just try to wing it by myself today. So let's keep CO in our thoughts. I'm sure she's going to be fine, getting the attention that she deserves. So first things first, best of 2019. You know, I feel like we can't say best podcast of 2019 with Freshen Up podcast, Fresh Room podcast out there with Serge and Zay. Now, listen, I really wanted to wait and see if these guys were going to win the best podcast award by Mew Magazine here in Tampa, Florida. But you know what? I've been watching some of the moves that these guys have been making lately, and man, I feel like I'm fooling myself by saying that we're the best. So like, that's the reason why it's so hard to cough up that we're the best. But you know what's important to have that self-confidence. I know we bring value to the table, and just because they're doing well doesn't discredit what we do. But man, I got to give props where props is due. So another major salute to you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. We really, really appreciate your partnership and always looking out for us and showing us love. Aside from that, if you guys want to get yourself some merch, head on over to afgoclothing.com. Go ahead, get yourself a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, a hoodie. And if you do decide to cop yourself something, please take a picture, tag us in it so we can give you a shout out. And if you do decide to get yourself some merch and want a little bit of a break, go ahead and get 15% off your order by entering the promo code CO in Rome 15. That's XIOANDROME 15. Now let's jump into some topics here. So, you know, I do have some notes, but I decided that I want to wing it a little bit and open up to you guys about something. So, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this, but we've been talking about some of the changes that I've been making in my life. And I guess that this week things are shaking up a little bit. So, you know, I'm going through some interesting shifts in my 9-to-5 career, and Wednesday was a very stressful day, to say the least. And, you know, when you go through stress, sometimes you feel like, I need a drink, I need to smoke something, I need to fuck something. And it was definitely one of those days, but I'm like, you know what? I took a vow of celibacy. I haven't been smoking weed, even though I haven't made that a goal of mine. I somehow subconsciously have kind of eliminated that from my new lifestyle. And I'm not ready or don't really feel the need to jump back into that unless it's medically necessary. In fact, I really was only smoking weed if I really felt that I needed, you know, with my MS complications and what have you. But and I decided I didn't want to drink anything either because, like, I don't know, since I've been drinking whiskey on the rocks, I'm like, yo, if I keep throwing these whiskeys back, I don't know what's going to happen to my heart, to my liver, to my kidneys. I might need to take it easy. So I've definitely been more of a social drinker. So I got to be honest and admit that I broke my vow of celibacy. Now, I don't know who's listening, and I don't know who's going to feel some type of way by hearing this, but I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't make sense for me to share my journey with you guys like I'm some perfect angel that's out here trying to improve her life, but then hide the moments when I have a little bit of a fall from grace. And I don't know. I just felt the need to admit that to you guys. How does it feel? It was over 30 days that I went without attention in that area. And I don't know how I feel about my decision. I know that it gave me the relief that I need, and it definitely dealt with the built up tension. But I got to admit, I'm not excited about resuming a sex life with anyone. I'm still of the thought that nobody really deserves to have me and my body in that way. So I kind of feel like this crazy sense of empowerment that it's something I'm going to do when I want to do it, if I have to do it. And I don't want to find myself in this cycle where I'm like constantly trying to make arrangements to get like my back blown out. Like that's really not the cycle I'm trying to find myself in. I really want to stay focused on my goals. But I really took some time to think about like, why was sex such a stress factor before, right? And I guess going without sex is causing me to realize that it was a stress factor. And it's like an ego thing. Like, man, when you don't got in-house dick, you got to like call and coordinate, and you got to ask for the sex. And the fact that you're asking for the sex makes you feel some type of way. And then if homie can't come through with the sex, then you feel some type of way. And then you end up using your vibrator anyway. And you're like, I could have saved myself the fucking embarrassment of asking for sex. And it's a whole like big mental thing that I just fucking hate. I'm kind of looking forward to the convenience of having some in-house dick, whether it be boyfriend, fiance, husband, whatever is in store for me in the future. So I don't have to deal with that whole coordination element, but such is life of a single woman, I suppose. But, yeah, I don't know. Like that was the stress factor of having to try to coordinate, right? But I'm like, well, let's talk a little bit about the frequency. I was horny all of the fucking time. I wanted sex every chance I could get. And in having a discussion with a really close male friend of mine, he makes the joke of like, oh, you're Latina. That's, as Puerto Ricans, we just trying to fuck all the time. And I'm like, ah, ha, ha. There might be some truth to that. But I think I figured it out, guys. I am truly sapiosexual by nature. Now, like someone can be super smart, super funny, and just have a lot going for themselves and not be that physically attracted. And I can still get turned on, fam. I don't know what it is, but that's just something about me that's always been there. And what I'm realizing, especially since I've been celibate, is like, I'm surrounded by men that are so smart, that talk to me on a consistent basis, that really truly care about me, that are super smart. And it's not just smart as an intelligence, like being able to do math or read or anything like that. Some of these guys are just super mature, or give excellent advice, or they're emotionally intelligent, or their level of wit and their comedic timing makes me be like, damn, I wish I was funny or more like that. Just something that's a little admirable. Or just the fact that they're pursuing big goals and big dreams, and they're multitasking all the time, and they're creating, and the things that just excite me and just make me admire them. Like, I don't know. It doesn't just stop at my admiration. Like it ends up in my pants somehow. And I'm like, I'm horny now, man. This person's so awesome. Like, fuck. And I don't know. With celibacy, there's masturbation and stuff like that. But sometimes that's not enough. You're missing that connection with a human being. So I don't know. Now that I've recently kind of got to release some tension, I'm starting to think that I could perhaps go another 30 days or maybe more before I decide to break down again. But I guess the point is that I did break down, wanted to share it with you, and wanted to share some of my thoughts and discoveries with that. So another thing, some of you have been noticing some pictures that CO and I have been posting on the CO on Our Own podcast page and story. And a lot of people have been asking me about my weight. Definitely losing weight, guys. Thank you so much for noticing. It's starting to get really, really weird because I'm looking at like old pictures of myself where I was around the same weight that I am now. And I don't know. I just kind of feel like my weight is stacked differently. I don't know if it's muscle or whatever the case is, but this is a different 180 pounds than I've ever experienced before. And you know what? I've made the decision for myself that I'm going to enjoy every phase of my body throughout this weight loss, no matter how big, no matter how small. I just want to enjoy, celebrate my body, and feel really good about myself. And so far, so good. I was invited to join some friends of mine to go to Nude Night here in Tampa. It's basically like a nude art show where they do like body painting. You also see sketches and other exhibits on display. A lot of it is it's not all of it is live art is what I want to say. It's a variety of mediums. There's also burlesque dancing amongst other things. And I went out there with my girl Amanda and my girl Rachel, and man, we had quite a good time. So I'm like, you know what? It's nude night. I want to be a little festive. So I decided to wear a very revealing top that showed a lot of skin, showed a lot of cleavage. And even though I'm not a skinny mini, I'm just like, you know what? If someone has a problem with my body, then that's their problem. But I'm feeling good about myself. And, I'm glad I made the choice I did. Don't know that I would wear something like that on a regular night, like a regular outing with my girls. But for nude night, I felt that it was perfectly fine. I didn't show any nipples or anything. But even if I wanted to, homie, that would have been good too. But yeah, we had a really, really good time. I want to thank all of you for the positive feedback on that. But man, really, really good times. I really got to give Amanda a shout out, man. She's a newer mother and she doesn't get to go out as often. And they had, we hung out at this exhibit almost until they were ready to shut it down. And one of the things that they were selling there for people to like munch on was like cheese and crackers along with their wine. And they had like this big platter of gourmet cheese that I guess they were going to get rid of. And it was Amanda's bright idea to take the cheese with her. So I have my drunk friend in my car with me with a plate of gourmet cheese that's not even wrapped up. It's literally like a plate of big blocks of cheese on them that smelled like shit, bruh. The shit smelled like, man, what the fuck is that cheese that you see on the cartoons that smells really, really bad? It has like the green smoke on it. Bro, the shit smelled funky, fam. I had to roll down the windows, fam. And then we had somewhere to go before going home, fam. So I'm sitting in Applebee's last night getting something to eat with these girls and left the smelly cheese in my whip. And it was just the funniest thing. And I'm just glad I'm in a stage of my life where I could just roll with the punches. Because had this been younger, Roma, I'd have been like, nigga, ain't no way you gonna be bringing this smelly ass cheese in my car. Fuck that shit. Even though I did bitch and complain a lot of the way. But man, really, really good times with the girls. Now listen, this is a really good segue to something that I wanted to talk about. I'm trying not to mix up my notes because I have another episode that we're going to be recording really soon. I guess I'll talk about it now. Maybe bring it back up next time Cio's with me. But we were shopping at Walmart and they had some really, really nice bikinis. Now, Walmart's definitely stepping things up. They ain't quite caught up with Target yet, but they're stepping things up in the fashion department. And one of the things that I noticed in the bikini section is that they had bikinis going up to a 3X. Now, we're women of a particular age. They wasn't selling bikinis in anything larger than a certain size coming up. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't until recent years that I'm seeing 1X, 2X, 3X in a bikini, because it always seemed as though, like, if you are a woman of a particular size, like, mommy, that bikini is not for you. But man, it just feels so good to know that women of any size don't have to go to a special boutique store to find a bikini. If that's something they want to do, they don't have to jump through hoops to get that. They can go to their local Walmart and they can, be inclusive with everyone else and pick that bikini off the rack. And I'm actually going on a trip to Arizona this week and I bought a bikini from Walmart that's really, really nice. And I can't wait to wear it. But I am quite nervous because I'll be joined by some colleagues on this trip and some executive level employees. And for those of you who have seen pictures of me, I mean, it's no secret that I got like giant boobs. Excuse me, let me take a sip of this coffee. My boobs are like oversized. It's just unnecessary to have boobs this big. I'm an H cup. And I'm just like, yo, even though I feel comfortable and self-confident in wearing a bikini, is it appropriate for me to wear a bikini in front of my colleagues and executive level employees? What if it makes them feel uncomfortable, or it makes them perceive me in a certain way? Or what if they're joined by their spouses who are a little perturbed with me because their significant other is having a trouble managing, what they're looking at, who happens once drinks get flowing. And I'm like, should I play it safe and wear a bathing suit cover to kind of avoid those awkward occurrences that can happen altogether and play it safe? Or should I just say, fuck it, it's my body, do whatever the fuck I want to do? I've been kind of teeter-tottering in between that. I've had some interesting conversations with friends about it, both male and female, and the general consensus has been, girl, it's your body, don't worry about it, fuck them. But I did have one friend of mine who's actually a CEO of an international corporation who applauds my body, that celebrates my body, but that recommended that, maybe it is smart to play it safe, depending on the places that you want to go in your career. And I feel that it can cause complications that you shouldn't be blamed for, but it can result in complications that are avoidable. And it gave me something to think about. So I'm still a little undecided. I think what I'm going to do is start off with a bathing suit cover, maybe have a couple drinks, feel out the vibe, see how things are going, observe my surroundings, and kind of feel it out from there. But I'm really hoping that not next episode, but the one following that, I can kind of let you guys know how that goes. So very, very interesting things to think about. I'd like to hear from some of you. Men, how do you feel about women who don't necessarily have perfect bodies, maybe have a little flab, maybe chunky, maybe completely obese and beautiful? How do you feel about these women wearing bikinis? Is this something that you're like, I don't care, as long as she feels good about herself, it doesn't bother me any. Or ladies, for those of you who, maybe feel like you don't have a bikini body, what are your thoughts on why you don't feel comfortable wearing a bikini? And for those of you who have made the transition that are like, I don't give a fuck what my stomach looks like, homie, I'm wearing this bikini. Tell me a little bit about your journey and what brought you to that point of not caring anymore. I think that this is a really good conversation to have, and it can really help someone else out there. Yo, being on a podcast by myself is making me realize I need to take it slow. I'm not able to take breaks in between to sip my drink and take deep breaths and whatnot. Hold on. Yeah. So aside from that, I want to talk a little bit about March. It's March. It's Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month. And for those of you who are recent, listeners, you just joined us, welcome. Thank you so much for listening. Or for those of you who have maybe missed a beat, I'm living with multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis is an incurable autoimmune disease in which your immune system attacks your nervous system or something along those lines. It's really confusing, but your body basically attacks itself through the nervous system. And I don't know, it's just a crazy ass disease that kind of affects everyone who has it a little bit differently. And normally I create a team to raise money for MS awareness, to MS Foundation. And I don't know, I just have so much going on that I'm not in a position to properly plan the walk. However, every opportunity that I do get, I would like to share a little bit about my journey or just share a few words. I did share quite a bit on Twitter the other day. So if you want to check that out, my Twitter handle is Love My Roman. No. It's Mother Rome, MOTHAROME. And just check out some things that I posted there. And what I want to say in the meantime, however, is just about health in general, man. If you ever have something going on in your life that just seems awkward or odd, go out there, get checked. If you don't feel right, if you're not satisfied with the answers you're getting, just keep pushing until you know what's going on with you and your body. I remember in trying to get my diagnosis, I had to push and push and push and push for answers. It took me years to finally get my diagnosis. But when I did, it was such a relief because then I could put together an action plan and to better understand how I could live the best life possible. And while there's definitely been some bumps in the road along the way, I'm definitely optimistic on all the things that I could be doing to live my best life and to not let this disease beat me. So to all of you who are listening, if you have something going on, I don't care if it's a stomach ache. I don't care if it's something going on with your eye. I don't care if it's nausea that's reoccurring. No matter how big or how small, just take it upon yourself. Take out the time, take out the finances to get yourself checked out and looked at, because we need you. We love you. There's people out there that count on you, whether you realize it or not. And, it's really good to express self-love and taking care of yourself before it's too late. Don't be like me, someone who sat around and was a little complacent. I know it's scary to try to find answers to things, and you may not be ready for said answers, but knowing is half the battle when it comes to a successful journey in health. So I'm going to leave you all with that. Now, I mentioned earlier in the episode that I was dealing with something a little stressful with my 9-to-5 job, and it's something that's been going on for a while that kind of came to a head. And, we've talked about this in previous episodes, the importance of protecting your peace. Dude, it is so, so important. It's something that you have to do for yourself, because if you don't, no one else is really going to do it for you. And as it relates to the workplace, or just in your day-to-day minutia of life, I just have a few things that I've been doing that I feel have really helped me keep my head on straight for the most part. And I just wanted to share those things. So most people do this, but some of you don't. So I would be remiss not to mention it. Step away from your office during your breaks. Those of you who take 15-minute breaks sitting at your desk, or eat your lunch at your desk, or eat your lunch in the break room. Nah, you need to just completely disconnect, unplug during your breaks and kind of pace yourself. They're called breaks for a reason. You can very easily get overwhelmed when you don't have anything breaking up the tension that can come with the workplace. You need time that's just for you. And if you're anything like me, after work, you may have a variety of things you need to take care of that involve other responsibilities associated with life, whether it's going grocery shopping, taking care of your kids, taking care of your man, taking care of your woman, pursuing your entrepreneurial endeavors, whatever it is. So the point I'm trying to make is between your 9-to-5, when it comes to your 15-minute breaks, when it comes to your lunch break, that might just be the only bit of time that you have for yourself. So capitalize on that and give yourself those moments. You deserve it. I encourage it. It definitely does help. Another thing, this is a big shout out to my iPhone users. Don't know what's going on in the Android world since I haven't had an Android in a while. But D&D is one of the best features ever. I use D&D all the time. Fam, I even got D&D on my phone 24/7 these days. I only take it off when I know that I don't have too much going on and I'm open to anybody calling me. But I got it on D&D. Now, for those of you who are like, what if someone important has to get a hold of me? So there's this feature with D&D on iPhone where you can say only allow calls from people on my favorites. So on my favorite list, I have people like my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law. I have CEO. I may have a few other people that I feel like it's really important that I don't miss calls from them. But anything else, it's I wanted to go to voicemail and I could kind of choose and pick a time that's most convenient for me to give that person a call back. Nothing, I don't like when I'm in deep thought and working on something and I'm disrupted by text messages and phone calls, especially when I'm in group texts and things like that. And sometimes I feel like just muting that group text is not enough. So that's definitely been something that's kind of helped promote that peace element. Even if you're like working out, you don't want somebody calling or texting you while you're focused on that workout. Or I'm reading my Bible. I don't want anybody calling me or texting me while I'm reading my Bible, or I'm masturbating. The worst thing is when you're watching porn on your phone and like your mom or dad calls you while you're in the middle of whacking off. Like that shit is the worst. Fam, use D&D. It's the best shit ever, fam. Moving along. Another thing that I feel kind of helps contribute to that whole peaceful element is try to read in the morning or before bed. It kind of does something to give you like some quiet time, right? And also some exercise. You know, I never viewed exercise as that thing to help relieve stress. I've always heard people talk about it, but I never really sensed it or felt it. But I've been trying my best to work out every day. And what I do notice is how good I feel after a good workout. And I definitely want to keep it up. Now, I've only been working out about 30 minutes each day. And I feel that that's been the key for me, because when I push myself to go too hard with the workouts and such, like an hour, it starts to feel like a chore. But I feel like that 30 minutes is enough to get my blood pumping, enough to relieve that stress. And it doesn't take so much out of me to where I can't enjoy the rest of my evening. So if you're not currently working out, try giving that a shot, man. It just really helps you wind down, break up the day, release some endorphins, feel really good. So yeah, just give it a shot. Keep it light. It could be a light walk. It could be some dance moves. It could be lifting weights. You know, it doesn't have to be anything super intense, but that's definitely been something that's helped promote that whole element of peace of mind and that calm, you know, sense of self and whatnot. So yeah, those are the tips that I want to offer you in terms of protecting your peace, because life is crazy out here. It's a lot of shit going on out here that's beyond our control. And we don't need that drama getting us off our game. So try to apply those things. If you try them, you feel like it helps, it works for you, or if you've already got these peaceful practices in your life, you'll let me know if you feel they help, or if you have other practices that I didn't mention that you like to share. Definitely hit us up, let us know so I can share with the listeners on a segment in the future. So I've been on Twitter pretty active lately, considering that I haven't been much on Facebook, Instagram, and all those other things. And I came across a very interesting article. Now, it has to do with competition, right? And I just want to say that I don't have an issue competing against men, whether it's physically, mentally, I'm not finding the right word, but academically, that's what I'm looking for. But I don't like when like a man steps to a woman and is like, yo, you shouldn't feel intimidated. You should just, you should step your game up. I feel like when I hear a man tell a woman like they should step their game up, it's like, yo, no, if I want to be challenged by you, I'm going to take it upon myself to challenge myself against you. But don't come running up on me telling me to step my game up. Like, I can't stand that. So anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked. Here's the tweet. It's by a platform called The Daily Signal. And their handle is @ Daily Signal. So that's the @ Daily Signal. And the tweet says, a transgender teen who placed first in a high school girls track competition has a message for the girls who took issue with the results. The quote says, instead of complaining about the unfairness of being forced to compete against male athletes, just work harder. Bitch, let me tell you something, okay? And I shouldn't be calling you a bitch because you're a teenager. But if you're not a bitch, you're a bitch in training, bitch. I feel like you're born male. You're already choosing to live your life as a female. I ain't got no problem with that. Live your life the way you want to live your life. I don't have a problem with you running track with the other girls. In fact, I don't even have a problem with you beating the other girls and winning first place. I don't have a problem with you accomplishing that for yourself. I do feel bad for the other women that are kind of subjected to having to compete against you, considering the physical advantages that men tend to have over women when it comes to the athletic dynamic in terms of performance. Are there women out there that can run faster than certain men? Absolutely. But I do feel that men have a certain edge physically, right? But what I'm not going to have you do is come into our space and tell us we need to work harder. Now, I know in your mind, you're like, yo, what do you mean our space? I'm a woman too. Like, yeah, like that's cool. You want to be a woman? That's cool. You feel you're born woman? That's cool. You're being who you feel you should be? That's cool. But what I'm saying is that you had to take certain steps in your life to enter this space. Whether you were welcomed or not, you've entered this space of womanhood. So what you're not going to do is come into the womanhood space and tell us not to complain about the unfairness of being forced to compete against male athletes and just work harder. Bitch, man, let me tell you something. This is a different time and place. I commend the young ladies that had to compete against this transgender young lady, because I don't know that I would be able to like deal with that stress. Like, yo, like I gotta compete against this female who was born dude, and I don't know if I can beat her. Like, that's very discouraging. You shaking shit up, fam. And I'm not telling you not to shake shit up. I'm just saying the circumstances shaking shit up enough. So we don't need you out here talking all this shit, shaking it up even more. So in all due respect and love, I'm saying like, yo, do your thing. Be you. Chase your dreams. It may shake things up, but I ain't here to shit on you, fam. But just shut the fuck up. That's all I'm saying. Shut the fuck up. All right? I love you, but just shut the fuck up. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, any of you who have a problem with anything I had to say in that segment, please feel free to send us an email at sioandrome@gmail.com. That's XIOANDROME@gmail.com. And this is Rome, just to be very clear. I don't want CO to be held responsible for anything I just said, just in case any of you found it blasphemous. But yeah, like I can't support that. I can't support that. Sorry. And for those of you who got a kick out of it, like, let me know too. I love it when you guys laugh at my jokes. Anyway, moving on to the next topic. And I'm going to wrap up with this. Some petty ass bullshit, right? Firehouse subs. Not my jam. I don't know what it is about sub places. I'm just like not a big sandwich sub kind of girl. Like, that's not part of my normal routine of food. And if I do find myself in the mood for a sandwich or a sub, Firehouse Subs is not my first choice. However, over the years, I have heard plenty of you rant and rave about how delicious the meatball sub is. And today, I decided, hey, there's a Firehouse Subs right next door. Let me check it out. And why don't I try this amazing meatball sub that everyone's been talking about over all these years? It's got to be fucking good. It's got to be good. So I got the small. It was like kid size, you know, because I'm out here trying to lose this weight and whatnot. So I got the kitty size sandwich. I didn't know if it was going to come with one meatball, two meatballs, or three. It ended up coming with three. I got the sweet and spicy joint. And I'm like, yo, finally, I'll try it. Tried it. And that shit definitely could have used a lot more salt. Second pet peeve is, yo, I cannot stand like soft ass meatballs. And when I say soft ass meatballs, like if it's soft enough that your grandma can take her dentures out and chew the shit with her bare gums and not like find herself calling on the Lord, then that's too soft, fam. If your grandma could eat the meatballs with her bare gums without skipping a beat, fam, the meatballs is way too soft. I want meat with my balls. Pause. And that wasn't meaty enough for me. It was like melt in your mouth balls. I didn't like that. The consistency fucked with me. The seasonings were lacking. The bread was okay. I'm not mad at the bread. But this brought up an interesting question in my head. Do you judge someone when they give you a bad food recommendation? Like, let's say you're hanging out with your friend, and your friend's like, yo, have you ever been in this food spot? Yo, you gotta try it. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And you feel so amped up, and you're like, yeah, oh, I could go for tacos. Let me go to this fucking taco spot that so-and-so's been telling me about. And you try the tacos and they're fucking trash. Do you look at that person like, yo, I don't trust you. I ain't never trusting your food recommendations. And the fact that you found this food to be so delicious and mind-blowing, man, you haven't experienced enough life. You haven't experienced enough life if you thought that meatball sandwich was good. If you thought that meatball sandwich was conversation worthy. I'm going to need you to go out and experience some things. I'm over here thinking like, yo, your mom must be the worst chef in America. If that meatball sub was everything to you. That means moms has not been putting it down if you were impressed with so little, so lame, and so soft. And I just want to know if I'm the only one judging people who give bad food recommendations. Now, I may be guilty of giving some people misdirection with food, but you know, maybe my taste is a little more eclectic, a little more different. Or maybe sometimes you just have different taste buds with someone. But yo, when the shit's straight trash be, and you was acting like that shit was yummy, I just kind of hate you a little bit. And not like forever. It's just in that category, in that moment. And I feel like you deserve to know that you ruined my day, just like a little tiny bit. You need to be held accountable for that. So, yeah, I just want to know if I'm the only one. If I'm not, please let us know. Nothing makes me more mad. Well, I'm lying, but I get mad when someone's like, yo, try this, and I finally try it based on your feedback and shit. I wasted my money and my taste buds and my calories on some bullshit. Anyway, I guess that's the rant of the week. Let's see how deep we are into this episode. 37 minutes. Now listen, CL had some amazing topics I knew she was going to bring to the table. She always has really, really good round table discussions. And I'm really looking forward to that on the next episode. She will be back with us. Please do not fret. If you guys feel like this episode was trash without her, yo, I don't blame you, man. She's such an amazing partner, such an amazing friend, and I feel so blessed to have the chemistry with her that I do. And I just want to say a huge thank you for hanging out with me this week, for embracing me, and for enjoying it for what it was. But I hope you guys appreciate that it was super important that we didn't leave you guys hanging and we wanted to serve you with something. So listen, before I go, I want to wish you a blessed week, a beautiful day. Ratchet Church of Rome will be back eventually when the Lord puts it on my heart to give you the business. I'm not there yet, but I'll be back. In the meantime, you guys enjoy. Thank you again. Talk to you soon. Bye.